Bless you, husband.
Oh, thank you, wife.
We got married.
Hey!
Today is the last day of our honeymoon, and before we go home we thought we'd just sit and chat about stuff while it's fresh in our mind. I'm already amazed at like things that I can't remember. It was like being in a dream state, and like you vividly are aware of the dream, and then once it's over it starts slipping away from you. You can feel the details just slipping away. We didn't really see each other a lot the day before because we were at the venue pretty much all day, and there's lots of just transporting stuff over there, running around doing things, realising like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. There were things that we just couldn't do until the day before, and things we couldn't do till the morning. It was really stressful actually. I think the day before was more stressful than the morning of the wedding for me, because I just felt the stress in the air, like from everyone.
Well, there was stuff we hadn't figured out yet as well.
There were things I didn't know about the ceremony until we saw the registrar on the day, and things that we thought were going to happen that she said, oh no, actually this will happen. So I was like, okay. And it's all fine, it all worked out fine, but it's the not knowing that just gives you this like knot in your stomach, because you can't plan for it, and especially during a ceremony when everyone's going to be watching and you're like, I don't know exactly where people are walking, exactly what's going to happen. The only practice me and my bridesmaids got were, it was like 10 o'clock at night, it was really dark, and we just walked down the aisle that wasn't really there at that point and tried to pace like how we would do it. But that was all we got really in terms of practice. I had a meltdown the day before. I cried.
Oh.
All day I was like on the verge of tears, just through sort of stress and anxiety and worry, and managed to hold it in all day. But then when I was sort of on my own just with Lindsay, she was pre-doing my hair the night before, and I found out that I'd missed you and you'd actually gone home and I wasn't going to see you till the next day, then I just started crying. Like, but then, and I cried initially at that, but then all tears were coming out about everything as well. It was just all the anxiety tears came out at once.
Well, because I was practicing my song, my lift home was like in a real hurry, so like
come on.
I like had to finish and just jump off stage and just run. And I had no idea where you were, and everyone was going, come on. So
yeah, I didn't even know where you were. So busy.
I just had to leg it.
I got ready at the venue the next morning. Alex got ready at his parents' home, which is like 40 minutes away. How were you on the morning? Like when you woke up, how did you feel?
I felt surprisingly relaxed to begin with. But then when it slowly started to dawn on me, you know, and as I was getting my suit on and you know, all this kind of stuff, then I was kind of, you know, like pumping myself up, like It was quite good for me that it was quite busy that morning, and we had bridesmaids. I had 4 bridesmaids, and my mum and your mum were both having makeup done. Makeup artist turned up, and then there was a photographer and videographer, and it was good that there was a lot of people around, and that it was quite a busy, upbeat, like I put some music on. It was quite busy and upbeat, because the moments that were the hardest were when everything calmed down and I was just waiting. The knot in my tummy was really pretty unbearable. But when there's lots of people around and we were chatting and we were doing stuff, there was too much going on. I didn't have time to sit and fret about it that much. Oh, don't sit right there. God's sake. So obviously the registrar comes over, speaks to us individually, and she's like, you definitely want to do this, right? And sort of ask some questions, and we check our details and things. When she turned up as well, I was like, okay, it's happening. And it was really strange for me, because I'd been so involved and so all over everything, and then that morning I couldn't. I just was in the barn, and they barely let me go outside because they were like, people are pulling up, they're gonna see you. You're gonna ruin the surprise. So I was just indoors, and I didn't know what was going on, didn't know how many people were there, I didn't know if there were things going wrong, but people really pulled together and like got everything done. And there were little details, like little things that people did that I didn't even notice until pretty much till we were packing up, because it was so busy. There were so many details that I didn't really see during the wedding day, and there were things at the end I was like, oh, someone put that there, like that's a really cute idea. Like when we were done with the ceremony, someone took the flowers that had been tied to the side of the chairs and laid them out on the pallet tables, and I, you know, didn't ask anyone to do that, but someone obviously did that, and I saw it at the very end of the evening, and I was like, oh, that's sweet. I hadn't even sat down at the pallet tables. I'm skipping ahead a bit here, but during the ceremony, when we walked down the aisle, the florist had made this like massive
flower garland to put on the side of the doorway. And the first time I saw it was when I'm standing there at the end of the aisle with you, like about to get married. So I'm focusing, but I'm also looking at this garland like, ooh, and trying to take it all in and trying to take in different things that I hadn't seen yet. I hadn't seen any of the flowers other than my bouquet.
Yeah.
So I was looking at all these different details and trying to focus on like not having a meltdown.
People who were sort of sat near me at the front mentioned this as well, that I was just fidgeting like mad.
Yeah, a few
like
people
I was
said
doing
that to
this
me.
on my feet, you know, like, and like, you know when you pop your knees in and out kind of thing. I was like, ooh.
Did you know we were coming? Did someone tell you we were
Yeah,
coming?
I think because you basically walked around like a big hedge so that I couldn't see you kind of thing.
I was smuggled in behind a hedge.
Yeah, and I think at some point, when you can hear sort of the whispers of like people going, oh, she's coming. But I think Anthony said that to me as well. He was like, oh, you know, they're coming up, and I was like, oh, what?
Music started, right? Because we were
Yeah.
stood around the corner of the hedge, like, when's the music started?
Oh
When's
yeah,
the music
yeah.
started?
The music starts.
We didn't know when to walk.
And then you know your bridesmaids start walking down, and they're all smiling at me, and I'm like, and then when, are you serious? And then you came around the corner.
With your dad.
With my dad, obviously. You see it in films and things, and like you hear about it, and it's all romantic and all that. But like genuinely, when I saw you, I was just so overwhelmed with just how beautiful that you looked, and that you were coming towards me to be my bride, you know, and all that. That I just sort of, I like really welled up, and I was like, oh my god. And apparently my neighbour who was sat near me at the front, she said to me afterwards that I was like, wow, you know, so beautiful.
Oh, it was such a blur going down the aisle for me. The
Yeah.
whole ceremony was a blur, really.
Because obviously, because I hadn't seen you at all, like, looking
Yeah,
like
you didn't
that.
know what I was going to look like at all.
No.
It was all a blur for me, also because I had contacts in, and my vision's still not even the best with contacts in. But that was quite good because it helped me not focus, literally not focus on anyone else other than you. So I was aware there was people there, and it actually wasn't as scary and overwhelming as I thought. Everyone kept saying to me, when you see Alex it'll be fine because it will just feel like it's you and Alex and you'll just focus on him. And I was like, yeah, but it won't, because there's going to be like 70 people stood there watching me. But it really sort of did.
Yeah.
The bad eyesight might have helped because everyone else just sort of melted away. I was happy they're there and it was okay, but I was just walking towards you. The one thing I regret is that when I got to the end of the aisle, I stood really sort of stiffly and awkwardly, and I wasn't sure what was coming next. And I didn't hold your hand or like, you know, act naturally with you. I just sort of stood there until the music ended, and I was, because I thought the music's going on for too long, and the registrar kept going to me like, it's okay, we'll just wait for the music to finish. And I'm just like, ugh. And I wish that in that time I just sort of held your hand and talked to you and like acted normal, but for whatever reason I just froze. She actually said at one point during the ceremony, like, you look like you want to hold hands, do you want to hold hands?
Yeah.
And then we did, and that sort of broke the ice a bit, because before that I was like,
And I was just like,
standing there really awkwardly. I do regret that, but it was because I was just like in this weird state where it wasn't quite reality. And
I was just staring at you
frozen.
like a weirdo.
I kept focusing in on like these weird little details, so my brain sort of blocked out the largeness of the situation, and then I was just focusing on tiny little things, like on your beard and on your jacket and on people's, like your mum behind you, her outfit and flowers and things. And it was like, I don't know, like in a movie, if they show you like a fly's point of view or something, it's like my vision was just going whoo, whoo. Yeah, I think that was some kind of anxiety coping mechanism, maybe. My brain distilled everything down to like these tiny details. And then during the ceremony I was aware of like, because I've been really nervous about having to speak, and I was aware that I was listening to her and then repeating things, but my conscious brain kind of wasn't. My conscious brain was going, are we listening? Are we saying this right? But then somehow I was just saying it.
Yeah.
And it was like I was outside my body hearing myself saying it and going, okay, well we're speaking, so that's good. The vows went pretty bad for me.
I didn't.
It went good for you.
Mine were fine, yours was fine.
Yeah, but I started crying really bad. Well, not crying, but my voice broke so badly that I just sort of rushed it. And
Yeah, I nearly cried. I was losing it a bit.
I was like, and I sort of said a bit of it wrong and then just rushed to the end because I couldn't do it. The big moment of the ceremony when we got interrupted.
Oh yeah.
We got gate crashed by Bo. The registrar had said to my mum, it's best if he's not in the barn during the ceremony, so we'll keep him outside. And he was with my stepdad, and he slipped off his collar, and then during the ceremony I felt a little someone walking on the back of my dress and my veil, and he just walked in to the barn.
Yeah, walked in between us.
And the registrar was like, oh, she was like, Anna,
Anna,
we've got a visit.
And then he just
came in and sat down. He was like, I'm here, you may continue.
Yeah.
He just wanted to be part of it.
But it was cute.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't have let him be in there when we asked, but because he just walked in, we kind of had to just go with it and carry on. So he got to be in the barn during the ceremony.
Yeah.
Because he insisted that it would not be done without him. And then he was really good, he just sat there.
Yeah, he's no trouble, so...
He just wanted to be there. But are there any other bits of the day that you want to, like, mention, or any notable things that...
Just my speech, because I'm quite proud of it. Well, I was so nervous about it, and I'd written it with your help up until the point where I spoke about you, obviously, and I'd been absolutely tearing my hair out about it up until days before, just because I wanted it to be perfect, and it's so hard. But eventually, it turned out alright. Although I was shaking so hard during the whole speech.
Yeah, I was right next to him, looking up at him, and I could see his face vibrating.
I was like,
with fear.
Luckily, I don't think it came across in my voice. I managed to keep it together.
You couldn't hear the fear at all.
No,
and far away, people couldn't see you vibrating like I could.
But I was like really, vibrating's the word. Well, I was pretty sure I was going to cry, but I was like, well, maybe I'll just get a little bit emotional. But I was really teetering on the edge. I kept it together, but I was sort of technically crying, I guess.
Everyone else was crying apparently. So I didn't actually look around at other people much. I think that would just be too much for me. I just focused on you. Well, but I heard that lots of people were crying. They come up to me afterwards and were like...
Well, I was trying not to look right at you too much, because I knew that would like...
Make it worse.
That would make it worse, yeah.
I really enjoyed going off for like the portrait sessions together, because that's the first time after you're married and after all this craziness that you get to relax and be together.
Yeah. And
just you know, and the photographer might be up close and talking to you, but they'll also hang back sometimes and just let you sort of be natural. I feel pretty comfortable on camera, so I wasn't nervous about that.
So this is the photographer and the videographer?
Yeah. Yeah. And we did that twice, like after the ceremony and then in the evening again, and that was really lovely. But like, I had to go back to the room at one point to have my dress loosened. Oh yeah, I had this intense stomach pain.
Oh, I was really worried about it.
Started after the ceremony. I thought it can't be anxiety because I relaxed so, I felt my whole body relax after the ceremony. It was the bit I was most nervous about, even though there are other things to worry about, like dancing and all that. The ceremony was the biggest thing for me. So then once that's over, I was like, relaxed. But then this really intense stomach pain started, and I couldn't eat much and I couldn't drink much. But then I went back to the barn for a little bit with Jess. She loosened my lacing on my dress up, and I took my control pants off and put on some like loose ones. Took some tablets, and it did get better. It was probably a combination of discomfort from what I was wearing, stress, the build up, the release, food and alcohol, and like everything mixed together. But when we went back to the barn to loosen my dress as well, me and Jess had a moment of just like sitting quietly, and then it's like you're on stage and you take a little break and then being like, okay, ready, I'm ready to go back out. Like, so it's nice to like make sure you have those moments where you're chilling, even though everyone said to us like it was one of the most chilled weddings they've ever been to. It was very relaxed and nice. I'm so happy with the flowers and the way that all the brass and the crystal looked and everything. It was amazing. And the first time I saw all that was after the ceremony when we walked into the marquee. So that was a really nice like moment, walking into the marquee and seeing it all. It just looked beautiful. It looked really good. There were like minor things that I would have changed or done differently, or I'm like, oh, if we'd done that earlier, that would have actually been a bit better. And you know, people left at this time and we didn't expect that and blah blah blah. But overall, was perfect, really.
Yeah.
We got very lucky with the weather. Wasn't windy, wasn't rainy, wasn't super hot. So we'll go now, because that's probably been long enough, right? There's like
My legs are going numb.
there's probably hours more we could ramble about.
Oh yeah.
But we won't, because Alex's legs are going numb.
Yep.
And my bottom is as well. And we need to go home and see Tucky. Tucky's been taken care of by our neighbours. We'll walk in and he'll be like, oh, you're feeding me again, are you? You're back.
You too.
No, but I'm looking forward to seeing him squishing his little bum. Thank you everyone for all your congratulations. We had so many. And it was awesome. Thanks. And we'll speak to you again soon. Bye. Signing out as wife and husband.